Welcome to the Embrace the Face podcast, where we celebrate all things weird and wonderful. I'm Allie Anderson, your host, here to bring you high vibe content and interviews for your highest good in self-healing and ascension. May these episodes bring you all you need in each now, and I thank you for listening, as always. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Lunar Ceremonies at Embrace the Face, where today we are honoring Luna's full moon, blue moon in Sagittarius. This month's moon is once in a blue moon. Why? Because there are two full moons in the month of May. Normally, the cycle of Luna is only 29.5 days, and every once in a while, a second full moon falls into that month, therefore, once in a blue moon. Sagittarius is our fire sign, and currently we are in Gemini, which is an air sign, so opposite zodiac. Gemini is home of communication, and currently Uranus is in Gemini, and Uranus is the disruptor. So I've talked about this a lot, and probably because Uranus is home to Aquarius, and as a triple Aquarius, this just feels very natural to me to discuss. And when I was trying to figure out what to portray about this phase of Luna, it really is about trusting and utilizing your own discernment. Being grounded, and May is the theme of grounding. For May's theme of grounding is the sacred box this month. Incorporating my love for Long Island with all things seashells and water and the ocean, but also to remind you that you are safe in your body. You are safe to be you. You are safe to speak your truth. You are safe to stand your ground. And most importantly, you are safe to utilize your free will via discernment and trusting your intuition. So let's go ahead and get started, of course, with our Moonology deck and our cards. Chiron is also in play in Gemini this full moon. And Chiron is home to the wounded, to our deepest wounds, the wounded healer. And where there is darkness, there is light. So what is coming up for you in this now? Your deepest soul's wound that you need to essentially heal in this lifetime. This could also be coming up for you. Let's see what the cards have to say. Full moon in Virgo. Take inspired action. So I was just talking to a friend about this, both entrepreneurs, and we were saying how, when you're trying to figure out where to focus your energies in your business, action really is the key. And when you take actions in different areas of your business or your life, then you start to see the reward, right? You start to see it all come full circle with your hard work paying off, or it doesn't. So utilizing that discernment, being grounded, Virgo is earth energy, is really knowing what is in alignment for you, your highest timeline, what is your soul's purpose in this life, and what is the wound that you are ready to heal and let go of. Forgiveness is also huge in this moon. Forgiveness is a key concept in self-healing and ascension that I often speak about, because even in a world full of genocide, there is room for forgiveness. And that is actually a quote from Desmond Tutu's book, The Book of Forgiving. It's a workbook. It's on my Amazon go-to list. You can check it out. And it really talks about how forgiving is essential. It's essential in our modern day world. It's essential to forgive our lineage, our past. And if you've listened long enough and you follow along in the world of energetics and healing, you know that you carry your lineage within you. You know that you carry 7 generations of DNA. You know that you carry all the burdens and traumas and dramas of your entire lineage from the beginning of time, essentially. You are not those traumas and dramas. You no longer have to identify with those things of the past or the things in your current now that are not in alignment for you. So figuring out whether it is something that you need to just simply rid of, if it's someone or something that you need to forgive, a lot of times it could be just simply forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself for what you think you did wrong. It's kind of like the idea of going to confession, right? And in Kevin and I's sensuality versus sexuality episode, Kevin joked around, but really it is a common thought process in the Catholic religion that if you commit a sin, and what is sin, right? Perception is everything. If you commit a sin, you can just go and be absolved of it through God, the Father, the Holy Spirit, right? They will forgive you. and you just have to say a few Hail Marys or whatever penance they give you, and then you move on with your life. And you can do that every day, you can do that every week, but really, how do you feel within? Do you feel like going to confession has really absolved you of your sins, or is that energy still just lying stagnant within you? And that's what you need to discern. That's what you need to be able to truly hone in on. When you look within, when you shut off the mind and open the heart, right? The very definition of meditation, and you feel within your body by utilizing your intuition, trusting in that intuition, and then utilizing your discernment to know what you need to let go of. You can do this when you're in meditation or you're being guided by somebody. So in client sessions, I often guide them through what is coming up, what memory is coming through. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What emotion is tied to it? Is there a color associated with it? Is there a texture? And we go through these to get to the root, and we keep going deeper. And what do you think that the cause of that is? Is it fear? Is it martyrdom? Is it your victimhood? Is it what is holding you back? What is no longer benefiting you in this now? And this is something that, no offense, but the church does not teach. The church does not teach that there's a deeper level. And if you wholeheartedly believe that you can just go ahead and go into confession and you are absolved of your sins and you're flowing, then by all means, I'm very grateful for you. But I am somebody who went to church daily and would be a good girl and go to confession, and I still did not feel, I still felt like I had so much energy built up within me, so much anger and shame. And until I really started to look within, I could have all the priests, the pastor himself, I could have, you know, the bishops and the cardinals and maybe the Pope himself. Maybe if the Pope absolved me, maybe that would be different. I don't know. But I've had so many absolvings of my quote unquote sins, but I was still left not feeling complete and flow in a parasympathetic nervous system state. I was still left feeling misaligned, not grounded, and really having no idea, like, in trusting my intuition. I was just doing everything that I had ever been told that I should be doing until I didn't do that anymore. And I may not go to church as much, but when I do go, I utilize my discernment. And there are still things that I resonate with, and there are things that I aren't, but I don't judge them. So the way that I utilize my own healing, especially in the concept of forgiveness, is going deeper, is going within, is going to the root of the root of the root of the nitty gritty of what truly is ailing you, whether it's something that is occurring in your current life or it's something that's tied to your ancestry. Or it very well could be something energetically that is not yours in your auric field that you need to cleanse and rid of, which is why May's theme of the sacred wax is for you, because it helps the healing pharaoh rods help to cleanse your aura, and the salt is also a purifying cleanser. So when we talk about discernment, and we talk about another thing that comes through a lot with discernment, especially based in theology, is when I think about and talk about or even communicate with spirits. And when I talk about St. Thomas Aquinas, it was not easy for me to start talking about how I channel St. Thomas Aquinas. And when it first started happening in 2019, I had started channeling light language, really didn't understand it. And so my discernment at the time, I was still like a church going, goodie. And I just thought it was a part of like chanting meditation. I thought it was just a part of meditation. And so I really didn't, then I started journaling on it and St. Thomas Aquinas. Then I started having experiences, and then his skull came into my life. And that was when I was like, okay, there's something to this. Then I really started learning, just before that, I had started learning about light language and putting two and two together and realizing like there's something to this. And when I publicly displayed my light language, people told me that they had chills. They told me that, they felt empowered. They felt at peace. They felt like something, channeled through them to give them a sense of like clarity. And this is just what I do. And initially I used to fight that intuition. And my discernment at the time, if I even had any, was to initially have imposter syndrome and shut myself down and not think that who am I to be sharing this. And I had heard like, watch out for people like that who on the internet who share those things and they're not really spiritual. And, you have all these externals in your life that, or just that it's dangerous, being called dangerous in general for doing what I do, especially theologically, in the strict Catholic religion. And it started really making me the light language, the St. Thomas Aquinas. It started making me really get into the archetypes and historical women and figures in history. I really deep dove into Mary Magdalene and her story and the Blessed Mother. My soul was resonating with all these things that was told was wrong. And when I started learning about Thecla and Perpetua, and obviously we all know Mary Magdalene's story, the 7 demons of being resurrected within and without, above and below by Jesus, and her being able to live a life of such purity and following her heart, and then was completely exiled and shunned after the fact. So just these 3 patron saints, Perpetua, Thecla, and Mary Magdalene. Perpetua and Thecla were also 2 women who were killed for having faith, for believing in their faith, for being outspoken in their faith, for not wanting to give in, for always standing their ground and speaking their truth. And these 3 women did this until the day that they died. Posthumously, obviously, they were recognized, some for benefit and some not so much for benefit, although I believe that all 3 have been beneficial in our history. And it's utilizing your discernment to remind yourself of who you are, that when you don't back down when the rest of society wants you to, when you stand your ground and you speak your truth, when you utilize your intuition and discernment for your highest good, in your highest timeline, for your highest path of infinite potential, so that you can be a light worker, so that you can help raise the vibration of this planet and of humanity. And it doesn't look the same for everyone. And what you need to do is to simply just remember that you are you. And when you realize that you're not meant to fit inside a box, that you're not meant to conform to this man-made society, that when you remember that the women in history stood up for themselves for a reason, had this fiery, burning passion within to continue to just be delusional, essentially, right? People not believing them, people exiling them, people shunning them. Thecla and Perpetua were literally executed. So what does it mean to you to trust your intuition, to utilize discernment, to stand your ground and speak your truth, to know who you are, and to truly embody that every moment of every single day? And that's not to say that, the externals, the 3D instances are going to get you down. And it's funny, I had my magical spiritual ladies over yesterday for some podcast brainstorming work. And we were talking about how it doesn't make sense. Like, not everything makes sense to everyone. But as long as you're living in your heart, you're out of the head and you're in the heart, and you're doing what you feel that you are called to do through God, through Christ consciousness, through whomever your higher power is, for the highest good of humanity, that there's no reason that you shouldn't keep going. Even in the moments of when you know that you reside in the 5D energetically, but those 3D externals get you down, the self-doubt, the imposter syndrome, the whatever may be going on, that you're questioning what you're doing. All you have to do, because in that moment, if you're questioning, you're technically in your mind. And we don't want to be in the mind. We want to be in the heart. We want to know our truth. We want to live our truth. We want to embody our truth through the nous, thy soul. Dating back to ancient Greece, the nous is the soul. The soul is here. The soul is in your heart center, your anahata chakra. Home to self-love, compassion for thyself, compassion for others, connection to the all. When we meditate, when we go within, when we go into the quantum, it all stems from the heart. And the Heart Math Institute is just one institution that is proving this over and over and over again, that if you live in the heart, you will learn how to flow. You will learn to know who you are. You will learn to get a sense that you are not just this physical body, that you are not just this avatar, that there is so much more to life than the externals that continue to bring us down. So utilizing that discernment, allowing yourself to forgive yourself, to forgive others, to also do it in a way that you know is going to make you feel good, in a way that you know isn't destructive, in a way when you're living in the heart, it's nearly impossible to be destructive. It's only possible to flow in all that you know. So when you trust the process, you just continue to evolve, continue to flow, continue to grow. When we have humor is such an essential part of life. I think that we take life so seriously sometimes, and that's something recently as well that I have been reminding myself of. And Mercury and Chiron especially having an effect on this moon, it reminds me that, to be impeccable with my word, per Don Miguel Ruiz. He taught us that in the Four Agreements. And to know that even in moments that you are questioning yourself, in moments of imposter syndrome, and I was talking about this on a podcast recording today with a special guest, which will be out next week, talking about women empowerment and women embodiment and alignment. And when you do it authentically, when you do it because it's your own unique perception, then that's your own way of flowing through life. And one of the things that is so important is humor and laughter and just having a good time doing it. And I think that we get so caught up in the human side, in the 3D side, in the lower vibrational, destructive, energetic side, that we forget that most likely what our ancestors and our past loved ones are trying to tell us, and this often comes through during readings, is to not take life so seriously. Yes, we are here to do a duty. We are here to uplift humanity and to remember who we are and to reach the state of self-awareness, enlightenment, bliss, whatever you want to call it, self-realization, self-actualization, whatever perception or word you prefer to use. We are here for those reasons. Soul growth, those are the actual reasons that we are here, to help evolve our humanity and our planet. But we're also here to have fun. And a lot of what I do is for fun. My social media posts are because I have fun with it. My podcasting is because I have fun with it. Readings are because I enjoy putting together events where like-minded individuals want to have a good time and want to have fun and want to gain some insights. I love bringing people together to remind them of who they are, to remind them that life, although that may be a hard journey, is also meant for fun and play. I remember when I first started blogging, my godmother, my aunt, she's like, "You're always dancing, you're always singing, you're always dancing." And for a long time, she didn't discourage me, and she always encourages me, but it was like, shit, am I doing it wrong? Am I, again, podcast recording with this amazing guest coming out next week, specifically talking about our image. And I was like, am I doing it wrong? Should I be wearing a business suit? Should I be super professional? Should I only show up on camera when I have makeup on? Should I only have my hair looking perfect? Should I only do it when I have a really good outfit on? Should I only do it when, I only have something perfect to say? And it started to kind of take the fun out of it. And I frequently had to remind myself, more so than now. Every once in a while, I still have to remind myself, this is about fun, Allie. But when I first started doing it 4 years ago, I used to be really hard on myself, and it used to take a lot of the fun out of it. And then it led to burnout. And that was a few years ago. And that's when I really started recognizing, especially in 2024, when I legitimized my LLC and my business, I was like, I'm not doing this because I'm desperate. I'm not doing this because I need to on a financial 3D level. Like, I'm doing this because it's my soul's mission, because it's a bigger calling than me. And I'm going to do it when it feels right, when I feel creative, when I feel in flow, when I'm having fun. And the first time that I remember in 2024, I was like, if I recognize that I'm being frustrated, I would record this. I would sit down to record an episode, and I would get so mad at myself for not being perfect that I would shut the computer down and I'd walk away. And sometimes I wouldn't even commit to the episode. I'd just forget about it. And I realized that if I'm not having fun, it's forced energy. If this doesn't feel in flow, if this doesn't feel in alignment, and that was my own unique intuitive perception, utilizing my own discernment to remind myself that this is supposed to be fun. If it's hard, if it's stressful, if it's causing my nervous system and my physical body any sort of angst or ailments, it's not in alignment. So it's little things like that. And sometimes we have to catch ourselves. Sometimes we only catch ourselves in burnout, right? Sometimes we catch ourselves when it's too late. And that really is the reason that I'm here doing what I'm doing, because I spent 15 years in corporate healthcare burning myself so ragged that I was a walking, talking zombie, not self-aware, and completely destroying my body, mind, and soul until I woke up and was like, fuck this. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm taking charge. I am my greatest guru. And that is what I will always share with you. So thank you so much for tuning in for Lunar Ceremonies. I want to go ahead and we'll do a quick little grounding exercise. So if you're able to, go ahead and take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, closing your eyes. If not, you can save this for later. And just taking those deep breaths in through the nose all the way into the belly space, holding at the top. And when you're ready, letting go, letting that exhale release anything building up, anything lying stagnant within. And on each inhale, bringing in that golden pranic life force energy. And on each exhale, letting go, feeling your fingers and toes, wiggling your fingers and toes, feeling the seat beneath you, feeling the material beneath you, wiggling your hips, really getting a sense of being in your body. Perhaps putting your hands on your heart and another on your womb space, breathing into that space and reminding yourself that you are safe to be here, that you are wanted here, that you are needed here, that you have a mission to serve that is worth exploring, being creative, and looking into. There's an idea that keeps coming back to you. Know that it is yours. Know that it is yours to design, create, produce, and master. Know that there is nothing more in alignment with your soul's purpose than the ideas that come to you for your highest good, the ideas that light you up, that bring you joy, that bring you peace and clarity, that make you want to dance and sing and make you want to share with all that you love and know. This is your gift. This is your idea for the taking. This is your show. Now show the world all you know. Sending Reiki love and light. Believe in yourself, beautiful soul. You are worth more than you know. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. You can roll your shoulders, roll your neck, doing whatever movements feel right for you, shaking it out, perhaps shaking out your hands, shaking out your feet, really just getting into your body. Giving thanks for the messages if they came through for you, and knowing that all you need to do is to breathe, get out of the head, into the heart, and flow. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Peace out, and God bless.